A lot of times, I think especially in American society, we try to push death aside, right? We try to not have it be this like unthinkable thing. And almost it's sometimes perceived as a scary thing. I really truly believe that sharing your story can help you process trauma and loss. I'm a video artist who utilizes primarily projections in order to tell personal stories, but also to tell the stories of these one-on-one kind of relationships that I've fostered to help people overcome either trauma, loss, or issue that they may be facing. And then I tie that in with other research with the School of Medicine, where we're actually scientifically proving that these methods that I use one-on-one are working. How I use storytelling is through this collaborative project with Abigail Robecki, who's a professor in the School of Medicine. We recruit individuals who are anywhere between 2 months and 2 years bereaved to actually go through this intensive storytelling process. And we help them take their story from written word to actually speaking that story to then kind of paring it down a little. Photos or videos would then work best in order to tell that story, to then editing it. In our most recent study, we actually had them also share those stories with family members too, to think about how family dynamic can either change or help that healing sort of process. And so we found that it's been really positive. A lot of times when trauma occurs, everything is sort of scrambled as far as linearly, right? And so a story helps to put everything, in that order. And a lot of times that's where we see that healing begin to take place. When we do our digital storytelling workshops with people who are recently bereaved, they are also learning a new skill, whether it be actual DSLRs or whether it be iPad technology. They're learning a new skill as they're processing all these events that had happened. And so there's a sense of accomplishment that comes at the end too, and a way that your brain can kind of wrap its head around this and almost put this container around an event that is so large that sometimes you can't even fathom. I also have an undergraduate research project called The Art of Death through the ASH Scholars program. Students are actually conducting research about normalizing death and thinking about what kind of imagery can either bring on thoughts of their own mortality, or which sort of imagery can make them feel more calming and accepting of their own mortality. Participants viewed a huge projection that was filling the room. They also viewed it in VR, comparing which sort of immersive experience is more effective as far as putting the viewer in that situation. And then also which one made them think more about their own mortality. That was kind of interesting, comparing these newer technologies, but also thinking about how our own minds sometimes perceive death in more traumatizing ways than maybe they really need to be. They deemed the actual VR project more immersive and made the participants think more about their mortality versus the projected installation. They also found it to be a little bit more of this kind of intense experience though, because it's pretty much just, you in this. But the other thing that we considered too was this solo viewing experience. So when you're watching VR too, it's just you and the screen in front of your face, versus when they were viewing the projected installation, it was 5 people in a room at a time. So it has this more sort of community experience. The point of a lot of these projects is to normalize death within especially American culture and say, hey, it's okay to talk about this. It's okay to talk about what we're feeling so that we're more prepared, but also more at ease when those situations kind of come our way.